We are continuing our walking tour of Gubbio with our local friend Isabella, who knows this city inside and out.
We have many beautiful arches.
This big old wine barrel was kept underneath the cathedral. It could hold several thousand liters of wine for the priests in the church. And now we're approaching the Grand Duke's Palace, the Palazzo Ducale. The ruler lived here. And he had a very lovely garden with a terrace looking out over the town.
This is a Palazzo Ducale, Palazzo of Federico da Montefeltro, Duca di Urbino, Dukes of Urbino.
You might be familiar with the Duke and his strange nose because of this famous painting hanging in Florence by Piero della Francesca. The Duke was a very important leader in Gubbio and the region back in the 1400s. A beautiful grand entryway.
This is a barrel vaulted.
The palace was built for the Duke in the 1480s, who ruled Gubbio and Umbria with the help of the Medicis in Florence. And so the Duke of Urbino had a very central location for his palace, just between the other palace and the Duomo and the city hall, and a beautiful view looking down on the town, which his line dominated for 200 years.
Countryside around the city.
A smaller palace is next door, which is now a 4-star hotel.
It's very beautiful.
It's called Relais Ducale. Well, this is a hill town, so some of the streets are very steep, and many of them are for pedestrians only. They're really staircases too steep for a car to go up, and they are just beautiful with their flowers and plantings and gardens along the steps and the low alleys. It's really great fun. It's like a maze to walk around in Gubbio.
We have many little streets.
It does help to be in pretty good condition.
We have 3 main streets, Via Gabrielli, Via 20 Settembre and Via Mazzini.
Aha.
This is Via 20 Settembre, 20 September,
Main Street.
Main Street, Via 20 Settembre.
And then a lovely crooked street.
The name is Largo of Vescovato. We have the archived and the document very old.
From the churches.
Yes, from the church. Largo del Vescovato.
And it curves.
Any curves around.
It does. Kind of reminds you of Lombard Street in San Francisco, except here there's no cars. It's strictly for pedestrians.
It's very nice. Very old.
Notice the brilliant design and brick paving of the walkway, which makes it very easy to walk up this little hill. Well, we're continuing our walk along the Via 20th of September, passing some beautifully decorated buildings and more of these little side lanes and ancient stone buildings.
Danny, this is the door of San Marziale. And this is the Church of San Marziale, the Romanic church.
Romanesque church.
Romanesque church.
Thick columns, heavy stone construction, low ceilings, and small windows, all indicators of a very old church built in the Romanesque style, which is older than the Gothic. San Marziale is one of the oldest churches in Gubbio. Okay. And now get ready for a most unusual experience. We are going to the Funivia. It's like a cable car. It's like a ski lift. It's like a chairlift, and yet it's something quite unique to Gubbio. It's this little wire basket. It's like a birdcage that you jump into kind of on the run. This thing doesn't stop. There's an attendant there to help you out, and you hop on board and you ride up in the open air, up the mountain. Take a look as we hop on the Funivia. Boom. on the go. He holds it back for just a moment so you can hop in, and he shuts the gate for you, and you're really quite safe and quite secure, but it's almost like you're just flying or floating. There's nothing between you and the mountain. So the main reason why this Funivia was constructed in the first place was to bring you up the hill so you can visit the church of Sant'Ubaldo, who is the patron saint of Gubbio. Why just to go to the church?
Yes, the church, the first church of the city. It's a Basilica of Sant'Ubaldo.
He was a very important religious leader about 1,000 years ago. And then we arrive at the top and get helped out of our little basket. Well, from the top, you also get this great view, as well as being able to visit the church, the Basilica of Sant'Ubaldo. Looking down on Gubbio, you see what a great collection of medieval structures you've got down below. Here's the Basilica. The saint is buried inside. His body is still very well preserved from 1,000 years ago. You can have a picnic up on top. There's a couple of benches with a wonderful vista down below. There are also some hiking trails up here, and you could walk down if you want to, but it's easier to ride. And then it's time to head on back down. You do the same routine. You hop in this basket on the run, and he snaps the door shut behind you, and off you go. It's like you're flying.
We are in Funivia.
And it's cool and breezy up there. Fortunately, you're not really high above the ground, so you're not going to get too much of a scared feeling of vertigo, probably. We're getting some of the taste of the fall colors as well. And notice how empty it was. We were the only customers, it seemed, that afternoon. We're traveling in the month of November, and most sites in Umbria in general were pretty devoid of tourists, which was really quite lovely. So we could hop on and hop off very easily.